Today's doujin is called fuki-in to fuzoku katsudo, which translates to acts with a member of the Public Moral Committee by no dam or amano don. This doujin has 4 chapters. Code for Chapter 1 is 332661, Chapter 2 code is 353545, Chapter 3 code is 38489, and Chapter 4 code is 408734. It starts with Izumi Shinji, who recently enrolled in a former girls-only school because it is a 10-minute walk from his home. The school doesn't have a single other guy there, so Izumi struggles to make friends. He begins to have regrets about enrolling in this school. One day after class, one of his classmates, Sakurai Hana, asks him to help her carry a box for the student council because it's heavy. Izumi accepts and helps her. Sakurai treats him to a meal for helping her, and ever since, the two frequently talk. Izumi is happy that he finally has someone he can call a friend. One day, Sakurai is talking to 2 other girls, and they tell her that because they're part of the Public Morals Committee, they have to deal with guys' urges. It was apparently something the last student council decided on. They ask Sakurai to do it because Izumi is the only guy in the school and is in her class. After class, Sakurai invites Izumi to come to the multi-purpose classroom in 10 minutes and suddenly runs off. Confused, Izumi makes his way to the room where he opens the door and sees Sakurai in a swim uniform. He closes the door, thinking he must be seeing things, and Sakurai drags him in. He wonders why Sakurai is in that outfit, and she explains that she's in the Public Morals Committee, and starting this year, there is a new rule called the Sustained Efforts to Exterminate All Crude Teenage Socializing or Sex Acts, for short. She says that this rule was made because if you don't help a guy nut, then they'll indiscriminately assault girls, so to prevent that, she needs to help him nut regularly. Sakurai says she isn't confident, but studied from videos online. She then gives Izumi a hand. The next day, Izumi is walking to school and wonders if yesterday really happened. He runs into Sakurai on his walk, and she tells him to come by after class today, too. He goes back to the room after class and sees Sakurai in a swim uniform again. After not being satisfied by the usual service, they both do it. Ever since that day, they constantly do the activity in various places around the school. Izumi thinks that they're now doing it regardless of the student council, but Sakurai still refers to it as the activity. A few days later, Sakurai's senpai in the Public Morals Committee asks her how the activity is going, and Sakurai tells her that the activity has increased Izumi's urges. Sakurai's senpai then says she should get involved. One day, Sakurai doesn't come to school because she has a cold. Izumi says that because she wasn't there, he was distracted. After class, Sakurai sends him a photo for something he can use. As he's about to go home, he sees a tennis ball roll at his feet and a student in a tennis uniform asking him to toss the ball back to her. She suddenly has a realization of who Izumi is and drags him to the locker room. She introduces herself as Kitamura Chika, a second year and captain of the tennis club. She claims that she knows about what's happening in the multi-purpose room and entices him. They then do it. Afterwards, Kitamura says that she has a lot to tell him, but will tell him later. The next day, Sakurai is back at school and asks Izumi if he was okay without her yesterday. He sheepishly says he was fine, and Kitamura shows up. Sakurai realizes why Izumi was acting that way, and Izumi finds out that Kitamura is part of the Public Morals Committee. Kitamura says that she now has free time after tennis club because the competitions are over, so she will start participating in the activities with them every day. The activity goes on for a long time, and Izumi passes out. It cuts to the 3rd Public Morals Committee member talking to someone who pushes her to join the rest of the Public Morals Committee in the activity. She says she will do her best. We're introduced to Ryuzaki Hina, who gets invited out to the bookstore by a friend. Ryuzaki says that she needs to work on paperwork for the student council. The reason she's doing work for the student council is to avoid the complicated problem of the activity. She then spots the rest of the Public Morals Committee doing the activity and wonders if she is supposed to do that as well. The next day, Kitamura calls Ryuzaki out of deep thought and confronts, saying her that she's never participated in the activity. Ryuzaki reveals that she wants to but doesn't know how to talk to boys, so Kitamura helps her by introducing Izumi to her. She then declares that activities will be put on hold until Izumi helps Ryuzaki get used to boys. As the days go by, the two get closer. 2 weeks later, Ryuzaki asks Izumi if he wants to do the activity with her. He says that she shouldn't push herself, but then she suddenly kisses him. She says if it's with Izumi, then she's fine with doing the activity. They then do the activity, and Izumi goes hard because he hasn't done it in so long. The next day, Sakurai and Kitamura are shocked by the intimacy between Izumi and Ryuzaki. Izumi reveals that they did the activity, and Kitamura says that now they can all do the activity together. All 4 of them do the activity together until the 3 girls can't stand up anymore. That night, Izumi has a nightmare that a new male student enrolls in the school, and so the new student goes off to do the activity with the Public Morals Committee. Izumi wakes up from the nightmare and realizes that next year there's a chance that more boys will enroll in the school, and he doesn't want the Public Morals Committee to do the activity with anyone else. It then cuts to the student council room where the student council president is watching a video of the 4 of them doing the activity. The president says all the pieces are in place and to begin the last phase of the Sex Acts project. The next scene is a compilation of Izumi doing the activity with each Public Morals Committee member one-on-one. Ever since they've started doing the activities together, the girls have been bragging about their experiences with each other under the pretext of periodic reports. Suddenly, Izumi gets called to the student council room over the intercom. He enters the room and is greeted by the student council president, Amagasi Misaki. She's joined by Inami Haruka, who was sent by the government to observe the activities. The reason Izumi was called here was to tell him about the true purpose of the activities. Back in the multi-purpose room, the 3 girls wonder about what Izumi was called over for and think that it could be about how they're going to have more boys next year. They decide to go and eavesdrop on the conversation. Back in the student council room, Amagasi reveals that ever since the start of the activities, Izumi has been doing the nut more and more, even as much as 15 or more times in a day. Amagasi says that the government has made a decision about the declining birth rates, that being to legalize polygamy. Izumi doesn't understand what that has to do with him, and Inami insults him for being mindless and only thinking about himself. Amagasi says she wants Izumi to be a model case for polygamy, and to set an example, she wants him to do it with an entire class of girls. Eventually, Izumi will do activities with the whole school to increase birth rates, and that's why they've been training him. The Public Morals Committee members are surprised and worried about Izumi accepting the offer. Inami reveals that they collected the medical data of every student in the country and selected Izumi to be the candidate because he has a high level of virility. Amagasi then gives him an ultimatum and says he'll be expelled if he refuses. If he refuses, they can easily get another boy next year to replace him. Izumi contemplates the choice and refuses, saying that he won't do it with any other girls and he'll marry the 3 that he loves. That way, they can get other boys to participate in the program while Izumi does it with just the Public Morals Committee. Amagasi stands up and walks to him and punches him, saying, "Well said." She says to show her his determination and gives him 3 boxes on his way out. As Izumi opens the door on his way out, the 3 members stumble on the ground and Amagase says to show her his resolve right here. Izumi opens the boxes, revealing 3 rings. The 3 of them say yes and leave. In the student council room, Inami says that what Amagasi did was mean, and they reveal that everything they said was fake. They made up the story to get Izumi to marry the 3 girls. When they get back to the multi-purpose room, the 3 girls are in an outfit provided by the student council for their last activity as Public Morals Committee members. They then do the activity. Afterwards, they call Izumi their husband. It then shows us a picture of the four of them at Ryuzaki's graduation. A few years later, Izumi is leaving for work, and Sakurai gives him his bento. She says that Kitamura will be back in Japan later this evening, showing us her tennis trophy collection. She also says that Ryuzaki should wake up by noon, showing us her desk with papers piled up. It'll be the first time in a while since they've all gotten together. Izumi then leaves for work. Let me know what you think of this Doujin.